Well, that in your heart,
Yeah,
if you had that opportunity, that you would have,
right,
and truthfully, you had a lot of people behind you watching
right,
behind the scenes,
yeah,
and
yep,
what does New Mexico mean to you? From I went to the last fight and it's sold out. I mean,
right.
how great of a how great is that?
Shoot, it's an amazing feeling. It
To
feels,
watch you, I mean, for you to be the
yeah,
main. I mean, just saying
yeah.
that's
It feels great. Like, of course, I was born in El Paso, Texas, and I was raised here in New Mexico, like throughout my whole life. So, the people here, they've just been nothing but good to me. I love all the love and support that I get from New Mexico.
Well, I tell you, the Perez name, and it started like 8 to 10 years, and I got a little story for you. As Jordan and your brother came in
Right.
this office, came down and sat down and said, we want to put boxing in a good name, because there's so many things negative at that time about
Right.
boxing, and about being people not getting paid, things like that. And I
Right.
remember talking to your dad and to Jordan and say, look, I want to get behind you guys, but
Yeah.
I really want to get behind something that's positive for the community. And
Right.
little did I know that Angel and yourself have really unbelievable what y'all have done for the community of Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico.
Right. No, yeah, and especially like,
And Jordan and Aaron, what they've done.
right. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, shoot, if it weren't for, my Theo and my dad to start us off, kick us out in the professionals, I wouldn't really be where I am today. So,
Let's talk about Angel for a little bit. I mean, you followed him. I know. I'm sure.
right.
I'm sure you sparred against him. You worked out. And what did you
Yeah.
learn from him?
Well, I learned that he's a very strong dude
Yeah.
compared to, me, but of course it's just way different. But because he's had a lot more amateur fights than I have. I've had probably like half of what he's had. And so being able to spar him, it shows he's able to show me different technical, tactical moves. Uh, he ended up showing me that it's more of a mind game than physical, But as long as you stay physical, you'll be good too. So it's mainly just like a very quick game of chess.
Okay, back to the mind game. So, what do you, without giving out your secrets
Right.
and your thing for your
Right.
opponents or anything, kind of define what what do you try to do? Is it I know, I think one is, when you do your weigh-ins and your look and stare.
Right.
What do you gain by that? So,
Right. As
or is
far
that
as
more for the spectators?
I could say that's a little more for media spectators. Give the fans what they want to see. Of course, I'm not gonna go act a little abnormal, during a face-off. But like during camps, of course, I practice what I can in sparring, and while I'm training shadow boxing or hitting the bags, I do my best to remember exactly what I need to perfect and what new things I could come up with.
Well, and here's, I read the paper. I do read, if you can believe that. Is that, like, I think your opponent sometimes is not the opponent that's going to you train to be, and you got to be ready for
Right.
on a weekly notice.
Right. Yeah. I don't really train for one style. I train for multiple styles. So like, if I'm sparring my brother, I'm not only sparring my brother. I'm sparring my little brother, which is you've seen my little brother, right? He's pretty big. I spar different people from the state of New Mexico, but then I'll also travel down to Texas, Colorado, and Arizona, or not Arizona, Las Vegas, just to get as much different sparring as I can.
Well, the thing that impressed me in the last fight, and we're going to get to your last fight. We're going to show some. Aaron Rivera's got some clips of that last fight
Yeah.
you had, but conditioning, you were chill. I mean, I was on the ring
Right.
deal, and I was watching. I couldn't believe how your muscle definition was just
Right.
was at a peak.
Right. Yes. Of course, aside from the mental aspect of the game and being strategically sound with everything, it's all got a lot to do with your physical body too. So you just got to train hard so you can fight easy. Get in your cardio, your conditioning, your sit-ups, your push-ups, all the essentials.
Do you get burned out on? Is there a time that you have to train to where you do reach your peak?
There is a time frame where I do start my camps, because if I were to start them, I guess like a little too early, I could peak at the wrong moment, and that would cause me to get a little burned out.
In your career, how many times does that happen? I mean, because you have the emotion part of it. Okay,
Right.
First of all, I mean, when you got 2,500,
Right.
3,000 people coming
Right.
in, your adrenaline's going on.
Yeah.
So, but experience is probably as you get prepared for a fight, experience helps a lot.
Right. Experience is for sure like a big factor that has helped me a lot in the boxing aspect, because all these amateur fights that I've had leading into the pros, it kind of teaches me to be calm and to think. Don't let the adrenaline get to you. So just be calm, think, and so that way you don't overuse your adrenaline and burn yourself out in like the second round or the first round, and you end up tired.
And back to the mental aspect, when you start a fight, is it like getting that first punch in that makes you where you really relax? I know you still. We say you don't have adrenaline. We
Right.
both know when you're in it, you want to knock
Oh yeah.
knock that person out.
Right. Yeah. Really.
But how do you know? Here's a question for you. How do you know if you're going to win the fight once you start? I mean, just as soon as you're undefeated. So,
Right.
But and people push to the limits. But
Right.
how do you know that because you got to have a feeling,
Yeah.
or just by the way you're moving.
Right. It's more of, I guess, like manifesting your reality is what I like to say, because if you speak negative things are going to come out of it. If you stay positive, you stay optimistic about everything, you're confident, and you believe in the camps. Of course, you believe in God, you pray to God and all that stuff. But as long as you believe in all that stuff, you say that you are going to win. You stay optimistic, and that's pretty much manifesting everything right there.
Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and show some highlights of your last fight,
Yeah, can't wait.
and then we let you be the play-by-play.
Right, yeah. Sweet.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Abraham Perez here, the Hammer for Legacy Boxing, and I tell you, we got some highlights here of your last fight. And if I'm correct, this is your 7th professional fight?
That one was my 8th.
Yeah, so it's 7th. So here we go. Give us some action, what you're thinking right here.
Yes, sir. Because again, like I've said before, it's more of like a chess game, finding out what he's gonna throw.
And there's the hammer right there.
Right.
And you hurt your hand right there.
I did. Yeah, I did hurt it there. You see, I used my body also to like the advantage of everything else that comes, into play there.
You always get compared to your brother Abraham, and I watched all of, more fights of Abraham than I have watched of you.
Right.
And the thing I see with you is your quickness and speed.
Yeah, and that's by the way, I'm Abraham, and yeah, I'm like, you got the wrong guy.
Right.
No, but of course, I am a lot quicker, but I think it has a lot to do with my weight. We're about like 20-pound difference there. My brother fights at 135 or 130, and I fight at 112. So there's the speed part right there for you.
And what's going through your mind right there after you win it? All that training and all that effort, and then it comes to fruition.
Right. So apparently this dude was going to be a very durable, which he was. He was a very durable, and he was a tough opponent. Yeah. But it's just you go through a hard training camp, so that way it doesn't have to be that hard of a fight. You focus on what you need to work on in the ring, so you can show it out in public, so for everyone to see it. And I believe a lot of people were pretty impressed with that one.
Well, no, it was a great fight, great atmosphere. I mean, not besides your card, but all the cards were very entertaining.
All the fights in that card they were all perfectly matched. There weren't any quick knockdowns within like the first or second round, to the point where they stopped the fight. Maybe there was probably like one, but that was just about it. Aside from that, all the fights, every single fight was perfectly matched, and they're very entertaining.
Well, if I'm correct, is in November, the next fight's November 4th?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Yep.
back to what I want to walk through. When do you start where you don't peak? When do you start training, and tell me how you get to where you peak at on November 4th.
So my fight's November 4th. We're in August.
Right.
We're still in August.
Yes.
22nd, 20-ish.
Have you started? I guess that's the question. So.
I've started training, but it hasn't got to the point where I'm training twice a day yet. So I do train twice a day. I'll train early in the mornings at 7.
And early is early, right?
Yeah. Yep. And of course I'll get ready. I'll go to work, do my thing, and then I'll train after work, and then that'll be like a 3-hour session right there. I'd probably start more serious getting back into camp probably after this month. So then it'll only be 3 months left for us. 8 weeks before the fight.
And then walk us through those 3 months before a fight.
Right. So.
Do you have an opponent yet? Do you have that yet?
As of right now, from what I know, I do have an opponent. I'm not too sure what his name is yet, but he is based off California also. Or actually not California. I have an opponent, but I'm not too sure where he's from or what his name is. So I'm just getting ready for that. And of course, we do have backups too, and we've already notified them, since we started working on the card. But anyway, I'd start waking up, 6:30ish, change, have a quick something, to kind of calm down the hunger, and then I'll go straight to the track or the pool. Track will be, either I'll just be running my laps, or it'll be hard cardio, or you're doing suicides, or you're running backwards, and you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff there. Just hard, intense. Keeping a good intensity.
Do you do that by yourself, or do you have other people with you to help motivate and to compete with a little bit?
It is me and one of my coaches. That's it. Of course, my pops. He's at work like during that time. So, it'll be just me and one of the coaches, and that'll be pretty much it. Because it's got to be. I feel it has to be a more one-on-one thing.
And in each fight you learn something, or you go back and critique yourself, and what are you trying to work on now that will make you a better fighter for the next fight?
I feel like each fight for me is a learning opportunity. For this last fight, I still feel that I didn't do enough work as far as
You didn't have enough preparation for the fight, or you just you get, or is the word complacent? I mean, you feel that you could just go in and beat somebody.
like, yeah, well,
I mean,
perform.
You always think that, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, but when just analyzing that
right.
fight,
Yeah, so like, yeah, just based off what we saw here, of course those were highlights, but during the entire fight, I felt like I was more like waiting for him to throw something in order for me to counter. Whereas I should
you
be
didn't
more
take the fight to him.
exactly, and I feel like I could do a little bit more of that, and so that's something I'm gonna try to work on and try to perfect.
So that's back to the strategy of a fight. I mean, there's 6 to 10 rounds.
Right, yeah.
And walk us through those rounds. I mean, what do you try to accomplish? Say you come out and you dominate, okay?
Right.
So then do you know that you're going to win the fight, so you kind of stay, or does that affect you at all?
No, it doesn't really affect me that much. Of course, like starting from round 1, it's always going to be, for me anyway, a fill-out round. By then, you start going into round 2, and as the rounds progress, you start to tend to get a little more aggressive.
Well, and you look at tendencies of the other, just see where and that's probably what you're coaching and everything. They're looking at things and say, hey,
right.
This is the second round, third round. Here's what we're going to try to do to win the fight.
Yeah. So like we'll go in there with a game plan, but as we start seeing how the opponent is during those rounds, of course, when we go back into our corners, that's when the strategy starts to change.
And how much do you gain from that because you're at a high level of fighting
right.
and dealing, and how much is that when you're how much does that sink in for the next round?
It's I could say
you prepare so much for the coming out, then how do you
right.
You've got fractions of seconds. I just asked that question because
right.
I play. How do I adjust to
right.
get the knockout?
Right. It's all about, I guess, timing. Like the perfect timing. So like I did drop my opponent in the second round on this fight, but I do feel like it should have been more of like the 5th round where I should have dropped him instead, because then you start getting fatigued, as the rounds go by.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So
yeah.
you hit it. How does that you hit him, and do you think that he can't make it, or do you use more energy? Do you come out and attack more?
Right.
I mean, so. For your confidence level, because it is 6 rounds, and you just you popped him. He's laying on the ground. And,
yeah.
And where's your mindset from there?
From there, at this fight specifically.
But you did hurt your hand. Okay.
I did hurt it. But for me, it was more like a hurt lion is also a dangerous lion. You don't want to go in there guns blazing and try to knock him out again, because he's got 30-something fights on him, and he's pretty he's knowledgeable of what to do in situations like that, So I just go in there. I still keep calm. I try not to go too crazy, but that's pretty much like where my mind is. It's like, all right, keep calm, don't go too crazy, just keep fighting.
Well, I tell you, impressive. It's fun, and I keep saying, in my mind, the Perez name is just like the top of your name, and I mean, with the people you built, you guys are building, a dynasty of the Perez name, and also
thank you.
The support of Albuquerque is, that's got to be the greatest, because go back 8-9 years ago, boxing had a bad name. I mean, I'm just out in the town, you just heard all the negative things, and then all of a sudden it's like the event for people are looking forward to the next fight, or I'm sure they come up to you, hey, that's the first thing, when's your next fight? When's your next fight?
Yeah, and it's normally like, hold on real quick, I'll let you guys know later.
But with talking with Aaron, is like he seems to be every 4 months to 5 months is about the right for you as a
Yeah,
fighter?
I feel like it's ideal because I don't. I think we've talked about this too, me and my dad, where we don't just want to fight once a year because, you know, the years they go by like this, they go by quick. We're already almost halfway through the year of 2023, and yeah, I feel like it's more ideal to get at least 3-4 fights in a year.
And the question I have after that fight: how much damage to your body? I mean, how long does it take you to recover after a fight?
So that fight was about like 5 weeks ago already. I'm still having a little bit of pain on my knuckle, so it's still kind of sore, bruised. I guess a bone bruise is what they told me. No fracture, so I guess we're good there. But it is still kind of sore. So as far as the healing process goes, everything else is good. But when there's a pretty moderate to severe injury, I guess they could last quite a while.
So 4 to 5 weeks recovery, would that be to where you're
4 or 5 weeks max recovery, I guess you can say. Yeah, but normally my dad, I was forced to take 2 weeks off of the gym because I wanted to go back the next week, on at least take Monday, Tuesday off, go back on Wednesday. He's like, nah, just calm down, take 2 weeks off. You don't want to burn yourself out too quick.
I'll tell you what, we're going to come back and talk more about Perez boxing.
Yes, sir.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Hey, welcome back, Steve Davis Show. We got Abraham Perez here, and I get all the A's, Aaron and
Yeah.
Angel, and everybody. Always it takes me a
That's
while.
okay.
It's just, what great names to have, but it's exciting for ProView and also the city of Albuquerque to watch everything that. You've accomplished and what you're and again the name Legacy Boxing is appropriate for being a legacy.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Talk about your mom on this part of the deal. Everybody always takes the credit, but
Right.
where does she fit into everything?
She's actually my nutritionist.
Although-
So she helps me out a lot with, as far as maintaining my weight and of course getting my macros and my micronutrients in.
I tell you, so she's always behind the scenes, right? So
Yeah, she is.
So we didn't talk about diet. I mean, that's becoming something big in every sport now. Is
Right.
Diet, nutrition, and talk about your eating habits over the next 3 or 4 months.
So for this one, it's going to be more. I could still pretty much eat.
How much have you gained since your fight, I guess?
So my fight weight is 112. I'm currently like 123.
So you're 10
So-
pounds
so,
over
yeah.
at the
Yeah,
current time.
10, 11. Yeah, so it's not a big difference where it's like 20, 30 pounds,
Right.
So, because otherwise then that would hurt. I would have to start thinking about moving up to like 122, 118 or somewhere around there.
So with being, let's just say, just use a number that you're 10 pounds over your weight
Mm-hmm.
class. So November, just say September, October, November. You're 90 days away from
Right.
your next fight. So so do you try to lose 4 pounds, 3, is that the way? Because you don't want to lose too much weight too quick.
Right.
So how do you process that?
So I'll still be able to eat more or less whatever I want during like the first half month. So like maybe like the 15 days, maybe even a month. I'll just eat whatever I want, but I cut the portions in half. That's pretty much it. I'll have a full plate, but I will cut everything in half. And it kind of does suck because I still have a full plate, right? But that's pretty much how it will be for a couple weeks. After that, it'll be more healthier, and we'll start bringing in, of course, a lot more healthier foods, a lot more lighter foods, also going more and more close to the fight.
And I know, and this is just me watching the deals. A lot of guys are 1 pound over, 2 pounds,
right?
And so, and I see them running around, and
right.
they're coming back every 5 or 10 minutes to see if they lost that.
Right, they'll spit in a cup for as long as they can. No, it's that's more of like, I guess you can say the discipline part. They probably have a diet, but they probably don't stick to it, or maybe they started the diet too late, a little too late for them to actually like hit the money like right where their weight should be.
And I guess where I'm going with it, as you age, which you're still in your prime, but each fight, are you finding it's harder? You have to discipline yourself more to make sure you hit that weight?
Right. So far, no. Weight still hasn't been a big issue in my camps. I'm still able to make my weight fairly easy.
Well, where I come from is I remember speaking with Angel before his fights and everything. And
right.
He told me, he goes, and like we have like about a month before a fight, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm 8 pounds over." I'm looking at him, you got a fight here in 4 weeks.
Right?
How are you gonna get that done without?
Right.
You can drain your body where you're actually too weak to fight.
Right. Yeah, and you could lose the clear, I guess the water that's in your skull. So if you don't have that water there, that's how people get knocked out a lot quicker, because nothing's absorbing.
I didn't know anything about that.
So your brain's got like a clear layer of liquid around it. So when you get too dehydrated to the point where there's nothing, so where there's nothing in your head, and you make contact, your head isn't getting, or your brain isn't getting absorbed by the water that should be there. It's actually just hitting the skull, and so that's what causes more of like quick knockouts like that. And that's something that we try to avoid as best we can. So, therefore, we make those diets to the point where you're eating whatever you want. Oh, but I got to cut all this weight. And they're trying to cut it all within a span of a week, 13, 15 pounds in a week, which is probably like in a business week. 5 days, that's not healthy, like at all.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't understand why it was so. As I see, and like if they have to lose 3 or 4 pounds for the deal, they just call it a fight.
Right.
They won't let you fight.
Yeah, and then to cut all that weight too, your body becomes weak, and your muscles they have like zero nutrients. Whereas if you were to diet properly and you'd go into the fight and you're still eating the morning of the weigh-ins, your muscles are still getting the nutrients they need, and so is your body.
That's so. You learn something every day. I knew there was a reason, but I didn't understand that when you're losing water weight, I guess is what you would say, is that you're losing it in your brain.
Yeah, because the human body is made up of
90% of water.
75% water. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean it's very important to stay hydrated and to keep your body healthy during all that.
Well, Abraham, hey, thanks for coming on the Steve Davis Show, and good luck to you on November 4th.
Thank you.